Welcome to Confined Water Dive 3 of the PADI Open Water course. In this dive, we will focus on developing your buoyancy skills for stable hovering and horizontal swimming, and learn how to handle out-of-air emergencies by practicing alternate air sharing and simulating a CESA, while also building upon previously learned skills, such as the 5-point descent and indicating air supply. If you haven't already, assemble your scuba diving equipment. Before completing this dive, your instructor will ensure you do a minimum of 3 equipment assemblies and 3 equipment disassemblies. Now, with your equipment on and your buddy checks complete, let's dive right in with a refresher on the deep water entry and performing a buoyancy weight check at the surface. After that, we'll go through the step-by-step process of relieving leg cramps when you're diving. One of the most common deep water entries is the giant stride, which we first learned in our previous dive. Let's briefly go through the key points to remember for a safe giant stride entry, such as partially inflating your BCD, checking the area below for a clear entry, holding your regulator and mask in place, stepping your toes to the edge, looking ahead, and taking one big step forward. Remember to fully inflate your BCD and conserve air by switching to your snorkel. Please watch the video here on our channel for a full breakdown of a safe giant stride. Just like in our previous dive, with your buddy, complete another buoyancy weight check at the surface, adding or removing weights as needed and determined with your instructor. Ensure you begin with a fully inflated BCD and breathing comfortably from the regulator. Now, inhale a normal breath of air and hold that breath in. You do not want your lungs to be filled completely, just a normal breath. Elevate your low pressure inflator hose, press and hold the deflate button to release all of the air from the BCD. Holding in a normal breath, you should be floating perfectly at eye level, not sinking and not completely floating. If you are resting at eye level, it means you are wearing the correct amount of weight and you are neutrally buoyant. This buoyancy check can be done at the beginning and end of your dive for a more comprehensive understanding of your weight requirements. Have you ever experienced a muscle cramp in your legs while scuba diving? Let's learn how you can release a leg cramp on yourself or helping a buddy, both at the surface as well as underwater, ensuring you can remain comfortable and safe on your dive. First, here is the technique for self-cramp release at the surface. Ensure you are positively buoyant and breathing from your snorkel or regulator during the skill. Lean back and lift your leg in front of your body. Use both hands to hold on to the tip of your fin, pulling it toward your body, pointing your toes toward your head. This stretches out your calf muscle. You can then use one hand to massage the cramp in your leg. Continue doing this until you feel relief. Now, with a buddy nearby, you can help each other with a similar technique. First, get the attention of your buddy and signal that you have a cramp and point to the area where you need assistance. Similar to the self technique, lean back and lift your leg in front of your body. If you are assisting, you can rest your buddy's foot on your shoulder for support. Gently push or pull their fin tip toward their body, pointing their toes to the head. Support the leg with one hand while you help stretch out the calf muscle. If you want to provide additional help, you can also massage the cramp in their leg until they feel relief. Now, let's take a look at these same techniques applied underwater. Always begin by signaling to your buddy that you have a cramp. Communicating this will let them know to remain close, ready to provide help if needed. When relieving a cramp on yourself, lift the leg in front of your body and grab onto your fin tip. Fully extend your leg in front of your body, pulling on your fin tip toward your head, stretching the calf muscle in your leg. Just like at the surface, with one hand, you can massage the cramp in your leg. Continue repeating this process until you feel relief. Finally, we will learn how to assist a buddy with a cramp underwater. Use hand signals to communicate you have a cramp. Lift your leg in front of your body in the direction of your buddy. If you are assisting, hold onto your buddy's foot with both hands. With one hand, gently push against their fin tip on the bottom of the fin. Remember to keep supporting the leg with your other hand. If you want to provide additional help, you can also massage the cramp in their leg. Repeat this process until the cramp is released and you can continue your dive. Before continuing, let's go back to the surface and revisit the 5-point descent, but now using a visual reference. In our previous dive, you learned the 5-point descent. You can watch that video first here on our channel. In your third dive, this descent can be done beside a pool wall, using it as a visual reference for depth and rate of descent. It begins by going through the same 5 steps with your buddy, following the acronym SORTED. Step 1, signal OK to go down. Step 2, orientation at the surface and confirm a clear descent path below you. Step 3 is regulator. Switch from your snorkel to your regulator. Step 4 is time, checking the start time of your dive. Prepare for step 5 by elevating your LPI. Remember to equalize your ears, and step 5, deflate your BCD and descend. Remain facing the wall and your dive buddy. You can help control the rate of your descent, slowing your speed by using the wall as a visual reference. Remember to continue equalizing early and often before feeling discomfort. Always descending very slowly with maximum control. Now, looking forward into your next dive, you will need to use buoyancy control to stop your descent before contacting the bottom. This can be done using low pressure inflation. For now, we'll complete the descent and go right into the hover skill. Mastering this hover will help you complete your next descent neutrally buoyant, without touching the bottom. Begin by locating your LPI on your left shoulder. Release all of the air from your BCD by elevating the LPI, then pressing and holding the deflate button. You will begin to gently fall. Add only a small amount of air into the BCD by lightly pressing the inflator button. Breathe in and see if you begin to rise. You may need to add a little bit more air. lightly pressing the inflator button a second time. Now breathe in, and you should begin to rise up. Breathe out, and you will stop and begin to fall. Regulate your breathing in and out, and you will remain perfectly steady and neutrally buoyant. You need to complete the hover without kicking your legs or sculling your arms. One way to do this is by crossing your legs and holding your hands together or holding onto your fins. This is commonly referred to as the Buddha position. For the duration of the skill, try to remain upright and stay entirely balancing. This is a timed skill. Without rising or lowering, you will hold this hover position for 30 seconds. Continuing to develop your buoyancy skills, it is time to practice swimming while neutrally buoyant. During the skill, focus on your buoyancy and trim. You want to comfortably swim in a horizontal position. As always, ensure your BCD releases are not too loose, and the BCD fits comfortably and snug on your body. For finning techniques, you can still use the flutter kick, but at this time, in Confined Dive 3, it's a great opportunity to practice your frog kick. Learning this finning technique will use less energy and help you move faster and more efficiently through the water. Try not to use your hands for assistance when swimming. You can keep your hands together. Develop the habit of keeping your hands steady and streamlined with your body. This will also help you stay in trim. If you're having trouble staying horizontal, try repositioning your weights forward toward the front of your body, and pay close attention to your finning technique to help keep you in trim. In your next dive, you will practice this swim again, but preparing you for an open water dive by simulating an environmentally sensitive bottom. During the skill, make sure that you do not touch the bottom or float up to the surface. Maintaining control of your buoyancy is crucial, and it will be much easier if you are able to swim in a normal position, able to comfortably adjust your trim as needed. Now you are swimming like a proper scuba diver. Let's learn 2 life-saving emergency skills: alternate air share, swim and ascent with a buddy, and the self-rescue CESA skill. Finally, we will complete the dive by indicating your remaining air supply without rechecking your SPG. Supplying air to an out-of-air diver and make an air-sharing ascent builds upon the alternate air-sharing skill you've already mastered in Confined Water Dive number 1. In this skill, you will perform both roles. The diver simulating air depletion will get your attention and signal they are out of air. Supply air to the other diver by deploying your alternate air source. Remember to have the regulator mouthpiece in the correct orientation facing the diver, and with the yellow hose over your shoulder. The out-of-air diver will secure and breathe from the air source. While switching regulators, remember to always blow small bubbles, never holding your breath. Clear the regulator with the method of your choice. Another skill you also mastered in Confined Dive 1. Establish contact with the Roman handshake. The hero will signal that you will both swim together. This is a timed skill. The 2 divers will swim together for 1 minute. The out-of-air diver should use their free hand to hold the regulator in place, holding it by the hose. The hero should make additional contact by holding on to the diver's BCD shoulder. Maintain both points of contact for control while swimming, controlling your direction and depth together. In a real-life scenario, this is to ensure that you can assist a diver by swimming to a control line or a safer area before ascending. After 1 minute, your instructor will inform you that it is now time to ascend. Remain in contact with the Roman handshake. The two divers will signal, "Okay, ready to ascend." Both divers elevate the low-pressure inflator hose. Look up to the surface, checking that there are no hazards above you. Slowly beginning the ascent. Hold your finger over the deflate button, venting expanding air as you ascend. Continue ascending as slowly as possible, staying close to your dive buddy. Do not release contact while ascending or at the surface. Once you are above water, continue breathing from the regulator. The hero will fully inflate their own BCD immediately. The out-of-air diver will remove the air source. They will now complete BCD oral inflation skill. You may remember this as the final skill from your very first confined water dive following the controlled ascent. While orally inflating, the hero should continue holding onto the tank valve, supporting the diver at the surface. When the out-of-air diver is positively buoyant, both divers can switch to their snorkels and the skill is complete. The Controlled Emergency Swimming Ascent, or CESA, is a life-saving emergency skill that can be safely practiced in confined water by swimming horizontally or diagonally for 9 meters or 30 feet while emitting a continuous sound. A safe simulation of a vertical ascent you will later complete in open water. Begin the skill on your fin tips or in a neutrally buoyant trim position. This can be achieved by adding a small amount of air into the BCD with a quick press of the LPI button. Once in control of your buoyancy, get into position to begin the skill. With your left hand, extend your LPI completely in front of you. Extend your right arm fully, with your hand in front of your face, protecting your head. Keep your finger over the deflate button, venting expanding air during a real ascent. Lift your head and keep your chin up, ensuring you look forward during the entire swim. Maintain this position and take 3 breaths to prepare, simulating your ascent by swimming on the 3rd exhale. To complete this skill, you must swim 9 meters on 1 continuous breath. On the 3rd exhale, begin to swim. Ensure your right hand remains in front of your head and the LPI is fully extended for the entire skill. Remember, emit a continuous sound while exhaling. Remember to keep your head up, looking forward during the entire swim. At the end of the skill, resume normal breathing. Before ascending, the last skill that we have to complete is indicating our remaining air supply without rechecking your submersible pressure gauge. As a safe diver, you need to be regularly checking your air supply and begin developing the ability to predict how much air you normally use. To develop that ability, your instructor will ask for your remaining air supply. Remember, the signal for asking air is by tapping 2 fingers against a flat, open palm. Communicate your estimated air supply. In this case, the diver is signaling 180 bar. Your instructor will then ask for you to look at your SPG and communicate your actual air supply. To complete this skill successfully, you must guess correctly within 20 bar or 300 psi of the actual amount. In this case, the diver signals they have 170 bar. Learning how much air you breathe will help you plan safer dives, improve your breathing rate, and lower your air consumption. Let's look at one more example. After completing a few more skills, the diver believes they now have 140 bar. They check the SPG and inform the instructor they have 150 bar in the tank. They are within 20 bar of the actual amount, so the skill has been completed successfully. Remember, to complete this dive successfully, by now you will do at least 3 full equipment assemblies and 3 disassemblies. You can find those videos here on our channel. Coming up in Confined Water Dive 4, we will kick things up a notch with skills like equipment removal and replacement, tired diver toes, oral inflation underwater, and more.